Hi guys, and welcome back to another Dot Race video, and today we're going to be playing MotoGP 21. We're here in Mugello for round 7 of our Moto 2 career mode. So as already mentioned, we are here in Mugello, and we of course are using Matt Grant, continuing on with our Moto 2 World Championship. The Petronas SRT rider now leads the World Championship after a dominating performance out in Le Mans last time out. Hoping we can do the same here today, and potentially increase our championship lead and take 4 wins on the bounce. Now, in my memory, I don't believe any rider in Moto2 has been able to achieve 4 victories in a row. Of course, Remy Gardner in real life might be attempting that this weekend in Assen, as one of my most favourite tracks ever is upon in the real life schedule, of course, but we're doing Mugello right now, going into Casanova and into Cervelli, probably the 2 best combination of corners you could ever put together. Absolutely magnificent track is Mugello. I really enjoy it. Not sure how we're going to cope here, because I still feel like we have a little bit of a top end disadvantage, which I'm happy with because it makes the game a little bit more interesting. Of course, the AI is still not that competitive compared to what I originally thought it was going to be. To start the season off, Remy Gardner was superb. Super aggressive, super difficult to beat, but last time out and a couple of races before that, we haven't seen him or his Red Bull KTM teammate, Raul Fernandez. Now, of course, Raul Fernandez, as we go wide into Correntallo there, was leading the World Championship up to Le Mans, and unfortunately for him, he has relinquished the lead to the Moto3 World Champion. Now going into Biondetti 1, flick it to the right for Biondetti 2, down by half a second, so we're roughly looking at a 1:54 lap, because we are 1:53.716 is the top of the session by Augusto Fernandez. That is the benchmark as we go into Pacini for the very first time of this entire weekend. Now, of course, the race is at 8 PM tonight, so I hope to see you there. Best thing to do is hit the notification bell so you can be alerted to the upload, and that will be, of course, 8 PM, so I guess I'll see you there for the Grand Prix. But right now, we do go across the line, and we actually gained a bit of time in the final sector, so pretty good job for the Moto3 World Champion. And of course, the Moto2 World Championship leader now as well, after Raul Fernandez relinquished the lead back in Le Mans, who just wasn't able to show us a wheel at any point. And I don't think anyone was able to show us a wheel, let's be honest. Le Mans was an absolute domination from this man on his screen right now. He is riding for his life right now. He is certainly doing the best job in the business as we go into Materassi on the left hand side, then flick it to the right for Borgo San Lorenzo. We'll try and line the bike up here to then tackle Casanova and Cervelli. Fingers crossed we do a bit better than last time, but then again we still entered there not so great, a little bit out of shape on the right hand side for Casanova, then onto the left hand side for Cervelli, now onto the right hand side for Arrabbiata 1. And we'll lean it in there, getting close to the rumble strip to the left hand side, then bring it in gradually for the right hand side for Arrabbiata 2, only down by 1/10 of a second to Remy Gardner's time. The Red Bull KTM IO rider leading the way with a 1:53.432 as Grant just cuts the corner there and invalidates yet another lap. That is a big mistake there coming in from the Moto3 World Champion. We'll continue this lap nonetheless and finish it to see where we would have been. But I do think that our lap time might be enough, as we're only down by 1/10 anyway, to jump across into qualifying and potentially then fight for the qualifying positions, or the pole position if you will, as we would have invalidated the lap once again. An absolutely awful entry into Biondetti 2 there. That is going to be session over for the Moto3 World Champion and current Moto2 Championship leader. So we now move on to qualifying. We will take a look to see where we ended up in the sense of the standings, and if we were going to be in qualifying 1 or in qualifying 2. So as you can see on screen right now, we are actually in qualifying 1, and we need to be part of the fastest 4. So into qualifying 1 we go. Bulaga leads away with a 1:53.867, Cameron Bobier in second, and Hafi Sairit in third place. So this is not ideal. I thought that lap time would have been enough, but it looks like over the weekend the lap time certainly improved over the distance, and yeah, we didn't improve at all. We jumped straight into qualifying, and we are paying the consequences, if you will. We're suffering, and we need to really improve here because we didn't do very good compared to it. We were really down in the timing sheets there. We have to come back very strong, and already going into turn 1, turn 2 and turn 3, the first sectors, not too bad. Nice entry into Casanova there, and onto the left hand side for Cervelli. A little bit better than the previous laps that we were demonstrating just earlier on, as we now go on to the right hand side for Arrabbiata 1. Once again, nice tight apex line the motorcycle up, keep pushing forward. Now chucking onto the right hand side for Arrabbiata 2. Careful on the exit. Oh, that's going to be an invalidated lap. That is another invalidated lap for Matt Grant. He has been doing that too many times here in Mugello. Think of the lap times we have wasted by abusing the track limits, just not having the right amount of feeling right now on this Mugello circuit here in the Tuscany Hills, just struggling all the time to get this Calyx stopped. The front end is just not feeling great. We had this feeling last time out in Jerez, I do believe, and a couple of other tracks, and it's just not feeling good. It just feels off. It feels like I'm struggling to really just stop the motorcycle in a lot of places. We will finish the lap nonetheless and see where we finish as we'll go into Pacini for another time of asking. With 10.5 minutes remaining of this session, we'll be accelerating towards the finish line and we'll see where we end up. So across the line we'll go, and it's going to be a 1:53.736. Now that would have been enough, but that is not enough because we invalidated the lap. So going into San Donato for turn 1. Oh, lovely tight apex there. Lovely stuff there for Matt Grant, the Moto3 World Champion, of course, as mentioned earlier. Now into Luco. Chuck it to the right-hand side once again for Poggio Secco. And then just go for it going into Materassi in a moment. So braking when we get near the rumble strip. Up by 0.2 of a second to Nicolo Buliga's time right now. The Federal Oil Gresini rider still leading the way. Will he be leading much longer when this man on board the Petronas Sassati Calyx is charging into Casanova? Now to the left hand side for Savelli. Nicely done so far. Getting closer and closer to the rumble strip. Once again for Arrabbiata 1. Getting nice tight apex here. That is gorgeous stuff, that is. Grant looks like he's found what he needs to find. And he's now onto the right hand side for Arrabbiata 2. Please don't invalidate the lap once again. Nicely executed on the exit there of Arrabbiata 2. Going into Scarpa here for turn 10. A little bit out of shape, but we still seem to be fine. Now onto the left hand side for Pelagio. Going on to the rumble strip. Getting a little bit out of shape, but things still seem to be absolutely fine. Now onto the right hand side. Simone Corsi's now put himself at the top of the timing sheet. 1:52.835 for the part-time policeman. Not sure if he is still a part-time policeman, but I'll still stick to that phrase because I still rather enjoy saying it. Half a second down to Simone Corsi's time. Aaron Canet and Lorenzo Baldassari have also got themselves up into the top 4 positions. Can't see who's in 4th currently, but I do see Stefano Manzi, Lorenzo Dalla Porta on personal best sectors and red sectors right now as things stand. Now it's full acceleration, going closer and closer to the pit lane entrance as we get closer and closer to the timing line. Across the line we'll go, and it's a 1:53.370. Grant was half a second down to Simone Corsi's time. Things are looking a bit bleak for the Moto3 World Champion. Not looking too great as we have the American Cameron Beaubier ahead of us. Is he going to be lending us a hand? Can we latch onto the back of the American and try and get some extra tenths by picking up a little bit of a slipstream? We now follow him into Poggio Secco. We'll be doing the same again for Materassi if we can get close enough just to gain a few extra couple of bike lengths. Just try and get nearer and nearer to the American Tenor Racing rider. Now onto the right hand side for the Borgo San Lorenzo, turn 5. Navigated not so bad as we'll go into the right hand side now for the best part of the circuit. I love Casanova. Flick it to the left. I love you, Savelli, as well. As we go onto the left hand side, keep on charging. We have to stay within range of Cameron Beaubier. I have a brand new medium front, a brand new soft rear. Will this be sufficient to get us into qualifying 2? To start Mugello from a qualifying 1 position, as in the bottom 18, will be very, very difficult to work our way through. But we are closing in on Cameron Beaubier, 0.7 of a second clear from our previous lap time. We are doing the business here today, but look at that soft tyre. This soft tyre is taking a pounding right now. It is getting rather toasty, rather warm. It is certainly feeling the effects of a very eager 26-year-old man from Warrington throwing it around. As we now go onto the right-hand side for Biondetti 2. Continue to chase Beaubier, and we will have this one. Especially going into Pacini, and then coming out of Pacini, we should have a magnificent opportunity to get some slipstream and get ourselves into qualifying 2. So here we go, full acceleration now, little bit of slipstream from the American. Here we go, going full throttle. Can we do it? Can we get across the line? It's a 1:52.305. So Grant managed to get the job done, as well as Manzi, Corsi and Aaron Canet, and they will now do battle for pole position in qualifying 2. So once again, we do the business yet here again. This time we got more brand new tyres in. We've got to do a little bit better than we have been doing, but I don't feel particularly confident here in Mugello. I absolutely adore this track. To see us not really qualifying well seems to be rather odd. It's a bit of a surprise for me, I'll be honest with you, but I do recall last season the Mugello disaster which occurred. We were able to struggle. Well, we did struggle in the qualifying one session, but we were then able to sort of bring things round again in the wet session and get ourselves in a decent qualifying position, I do believe. And then straight after that, there was a wet race, which just went absolutely horrible. So fingers crossed we won't be replicating that. And would like to put the Mugello bug to bed and see if we can actually do well in the Grand Prix tonight at 8 PM. So don't forget, tonight at 8 PM is when the Mugello race will start, and I'm sure it's going to be brilliant. Mugello very, very rarely disappoints, so I don't doubt that it will disappoint today. I think it was going to be absolutely superb, as we'll close in on Joe Roberts. Now, we had the American helping us last time, the American being Cameron Beaubier. We now have another American helping us out now, and this is Joe Roberts. We're taking a bit of slipstream, and once again it's going to be rather imperative coming out of Bacchini and getting onto the back of the American... excuse me, it's not the American Turner Racing, that is Cameron Beaubier. He's now on the Italtrans, Joe Roberts is. As we now flick it onto the left-hand side for Biondetti 1, to the right-hand side for Biondetti 2. Much, much better execution there from Matt Grant. We are closing in on Joe Roberts. We will be taking a few extra tenths of a second here from Mr. Roberts ahead. Of course, Raul Fernandez leads away with Jake Dixon and Tony Arbolino on the front row as things stand. We're not going to be quite close enough to get the best slipstream, but we had a little bit of a bobble on exit. So we now go across the timing lines. It's going to be a 1:52.438. That does indeed take top spot for Matt Grant, but will that be enough to hold on to for the rest of the session? That is still a good lap nonetheless, and with Joe Roberts' help there, we managed to gain quite a lot of extra tenths there. So we'll continue to follow the American and see if he can help us one more time. Once again, Joe, I am asking for your assistance. Once again, I would like a tow, if you wouldn't mind, please, good sir. As we'll now go into Matarasi. Do we improve on the time? Down by 65,000 of a second, but when you're that close, it's not really a negative, only 65,000 of a second. We can certainly claw that back in the next couple of corners. So I just flicked it across so you can see what tyres we are using right now. We are using a hard front and a soft rear. We got very close to completely messing up the corner there, and then once again going into Cervelli we made the same mistake as well. Once you make a mistake in Casanova, you're probably going to make a similar mistake or the exact same mistake into Cervelli. As we get onto the right hand side for Arrabbiata 2. Nice exit, but my goodness, that soft rear tyre is looking worse for wear. And I've got to be honest with you, I will confess now, guys, we are running out of tyres, ladies and gentlemen. We don't have many tyres available to continue to push forward for the pole position, but we'll still do what we can do. This lap doesn't seem to be an improvement of any kind, but nonetheless, it's still going to be a decent effort. But we will have to jump back into the pit because a tyre like that is certainly not going to last for another lap, is it? The soft tyre is looking absolutely tomato-like. It is completely red. It's crimson, the old rear tyre now on the depiction in the bottom left-hand corner, or bottom right-hand corner rather. As we now go into Bacchini, Joe Roberts, number 16 ahead of us, being pursued by the number 47. Of course, if we win here in Moto 2, we might be able to stay another year and change it to the number 1, but I haven't quite decided where we're going to go in MotoGP yet. So one more go, one final attempt. Remy Gardner leads the way with a 1:52.362. Schrotter ahead of us by 29 thousandth of a second, and Grant is on the front row. One more attempt, 17 seconds of this session remaining. A hard front and a brand new medium rear. Will this be enough for Grant to claim pole position here in this wonderful, wonderful Italian track? As we now go into Matarasi, we'll be getting it hard on the brakes here, up by a tenth and a half. This could be the lap, ladies and gentlemen. This could be the one where Grant takes another pole position. We have had one magnificent streak of pole positions. We'll be doing it here today if we can stay on board and we can run it wide. Oh, we run it too tight. That's it. Session over. Remy Gardner will take pole position with Arbolino and his Liquimoli Intact team rider, teammate Marcel Schotter in third, and Matt Grant misses out in fourth place. But guys, as always, thank you very much for watching the video. If you enjoyed, like, comment and subscribe. hit the notification bell to be alerted to every single Dr. Ace upload, and I will see you at 8 PM for the race. Thanks for watching, guys, and ciao for now.
Oh hi, didn't quite see you there. Good to see you're still here. If this video didn't quite set your appetite, then why not watch some more Dr. Ace content by clicking the video shown on screen now. Furthermore, if you would like to follow me on social media, you can do so now with the links down in the description. Consider subscribing so you don't miss a single Dr. Ace video.